What's up, BookTube? Welcome back. My name is Laura if you're new here, and today we're doing round 2 of my September TBR, where I am doing Bookoplathon, Not Safe for Workathon, and G's Magical Readathon. I have been doing a ton of reading so far. I'm filming this on September 12th, and so far I have read 5 books, DNF'd 1, and I'm in the middle of 2 other ones, both of which I'll probably finish up in the next couple of days, which means I'm pretty much done the TBR that I set for myself of 8 books at the beginning of the month. I have been having a fantastic reading month. I checked my stats. I have read more in the last week and a half than I normally do in an entire month. So I'm having a great month. But this does mean that I have to do a round 2 of my TBR for all of the very many readathons that I'm doing this month. I'll link my first round of my TBR down below, as well as all 3 of the announcement videos for the readathons that I'm doing. But just really quickly, those 3 are Bookoplathon hosted by Becca and the Books, Not Safe for Workathon hosted by Pages with Paige, and Magical Readathon hosted by Book Roast. I'm using Bookoplathon as my main board and the matching of those books for everything else. So in my last round I ended off on Community Shelf, so I'm going to be starting there. So I have my dice up here, you'll see it on the screen. I don't know why I did that, but either way, let's start with our first roll. This time around I'm going to do 3 rolls to start, and then if I get any doubles we'll just go from there. I'll probably end up reading more than 3 books in the next 2 weeks, but I am going on vacation on the last weekend of the month, so I might not get that much reading done, so 3 is a safe number plus any doubles that I get. So wish me luck, but let's get started with roll number 1. A 10. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Last color. Okay, so I think that means that I have to pick a book that has a color from the last book that I read in it, I think. I'll clarify. Okay, yeah, so I checked, and last color means to take the last book that you read and pick a color, any color from the cover, and pick a book that has that same color in it. And Becca did indeed specify that it did not have to be the main color. As long as there was a little teeny tiny bit of that color on the cover, then it is good to go. So the last book that I finished was Taming Demons for Beginners by Annette and Marie, and if you can see right in here, probably not in there, but there is the tiniest bit of yellow in like the lights of the buildings. So there's a little bit of yellow in there. And for this one I'm going to be reading Payback's a Witch by Lana Harper, which also has yellow in the cover. This one has not been released yet. It's coming out on October 5th. I have it as an ARC from NetGalley, so I really need to get to it. And this one is a rom-com, but with a witchy twist to it. It sounds hilarious and so much fun, so I can't wait to get to it. I did start reading it in August, but I didn't have time to finish it. I literally read like 5 or 6 pages of it, so I'm just going to restart that. I don't know much else from the plot aside from the like witchy rom-com aspect to it, so I don't really know like the details of the plot, but I'm very okay going into this book blind. It seems like it's going to be a absolute delight. And I realized like long after I requested this book that Lana Harper is Lana Popovic. I guess she got married and changed her last name, but I read like most of her books and I love her writing. It is gorgeous, so I'm expecting this one to be just as beautifully written as her other books have been, so I can't wait for it. For Not Safe for Workathon, this one is going to be filling my prompt for a freeing book. I'm taking this idea from Paige, the host. She also used an ARC for the same prompt because it is freeing me from the obligation of having to read this ARC. So I thought that was a very smart way to kind of get this book on there. So I am taking that. And for Magical Readathon, this is going to fill the prompt for Ashtorn Tree, which is to read a book that keeps tempting you, or one that's on the top of your TBR. And because this one's coming out so soon and I have to read it before it's released, this is definitely on the top of my TBR. Roll number 2. A 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Community Shelf. For my Community Shelf picks, I'm using my own little jar full of prompts that I use for my Operation TBR game. So let's crack that open and see what I get. Oh god. And I'm dropping a million things. Yep, good lord. Oh my god. Physical book. For my physical book, I'm going to be reading The Near Witch by V.E. Schwab. First of all, beautiful cover. I love this cover. It's gorgeous. I love this like super vibrant red, but not important. So this one is a spooky witch story. I'm like fully in the Halloween mood now, so all I want to do is read spooky books. I've been wearing like Halloween jewelry. I have my little ghost earrings on right now actually. I'm not really sure how to explain what it's about based on the back of the book. I'm just going to read it out for you guys, make my life a little easier. It says, "The Near Witch is only an old story told to frighten children. If the wind calls at night, you must not listen. The wind is lonely and always looking for company. There are no strangers in the town of Near. These are the truths that Lexi has heard all her life. But when an actual stranger, a boy who seems to fade like smoke, appears outside her home on the moor at night, she knows that at least one of these sayings is no longer true. The next night, the children of Near start disappearing from their beds, and the mysterious boy falls under suspicion. As the hunt for the children intensifies, so does Lexi's need to know about the witch that just might be more than a bedtime story and about the history of this nameless boy. So this sounds wonderful. I haven't actually heard too many people talking about it, but I love this author and I want to read all of her books at some point, so I am working through her entire backlist. So I thought it was a great time to get to this one. And then for Not Safe for Workathon, this is going to fill my prompt for Switches, which is to mood read a book. I'm very much in the mood to read this, especially with spooky season, so I'm very excited to get to this one. And roll number 3. A 10, and not the last roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ooh, a small book. Thank you. For a small book, I'm going to be reading A Worthy Opponent by Katee Robert. This is the 3rd book in the Wicked Villain series, which is a series of smutty Disney retellings where the princess falls in love with the villain. They're just incredible so far. I've only read book 1 and it was amazing. Like, it was so freaking good. I can't get over it, and I've been dying to carry on with the series, so I can't wait to finally do so. I'm not really sure who the main character is in this one, but I know the love interest is Hook, and I think I've heard people say that it's Tinkerbell. This one is a Peter Pan retelling, except whoever the main character is wants to kill Peter Pan for betraying her, and the only one who can help her is Captain Hook, so they work together to try and take down Peter Pan, and it's going to turn into a very smutty romance, I'm assuming. So that's all that I know about it, and I can't wait for it. And for Not Safe for Workathon, this one is going to fill my prompt for Breath Play, which is to read a book that will leave you breathless or panting. If this book is anything like the first book in the series, it definitely will. And finally, roll number 4. A 6, and yes, that is the last roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 monsters. I like that. For the monsters prompt, I'm going to be reading Learn My Lesson by Katee Roberts. This is the 2nd book in the Wicked Villain series. This one is Hades and Meg, and I think it's a threesome. I don't actually know. I'm a little confused by the description of it. So I'm just going to again read this one. It says, a single night with Meg and I'm willing to do anything to save her from Hades, the man holding her captive, a victim to his every whim. A bargain with the devil himself seemed a small price to pay in order for Meg to go free, until I learned that she's exactly where she wants to be. She's queen to Hades' king, and I'm the fool that walked right into their trap. The same fool who desires them both as much as I hate them. I can't resist Meg's touch or stop from being drawn to Hades' dark desire. By the time I realize just how deep a game he's playing, it may be too late for all of us. So this sounds so good. Technically, Hades is a god, so this could go for the gods prompt instead of the monsters, but in the info sheet for Bookoplathon, it does say that monsters can be characters who act monstrous, and they're being described as evil, so I think that should count towards monstrous behavior, so I'm going to count it. And for Not Safe for Workathon, I'm using this one for the prompt Fire Play, which is to read a book that you consider hot. Not only is this going to be very spicy erotica, but there's also fire on the cover, so it works both ways. And then for Magical Readathon, I'm using this one for the Tower of Rumination, which is to read a 5-star prediction. I gave the first book in the series 4 stars, but I have heard that the series just keeps getting better and better and better, so I am predicting that this one might be a 5-star. Plus, I love Hades and Meg, so I think I'm going to like this one even better. Okay, so that is round 2 of my September TBR. If you guys have read any of these books, let me know down below. But in the meantime, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you're having a fantastic day wherever you are in the world, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye!